So we can get an asset line against your stocks and help you use that towards a down payment. And you know what? You can talk to the CPA dude about this. CPA dude, my understanding is that if you have a pledged asset line and you pay interest on that asset line, and let's say in the future, if you sell your stocks, you can offset that interest against your capital gains. That's what my understanding is. You can confirm that with them. But I've confirmed it from my CPA that you can actually offset the interest you pay on pledged asset line against capital gains in the future also. So that's a great way to another tax savings.
See, would like to discuss more about that.
Yeah.
Can you say more on that, like what the interest rate write-offs?
Well, so first of all, I have to say I'm not a CPA, right? And I work for Wells Fargo. It's a land of compliance.
Don't get confused. His name is CP. CP.
Right. No, I mean, look, let's say somebody moves their NVIDIA stock or Amazon stock over to us, right? And they're like, hey, I'm not ready to sell the stock. I'm not sure which one is eligible for short-term gains versus long-term gains. We can help them basically leverage those stocks, give them about 40 to up to 60% of the stock value as an asset line. They can use it for a down payment. It will not affect their loan qualification either, right? And buy that home and then think through that which stocks they want to sell. And once they sell that, that capital gains, that 20% long-term capital gains they do incur, they can deduct that interest that they paid on pledged asset line against the capital gains.
Okay. So yeah, see, most of the times I get a same question, like basically, Nagaraj, I have a stock, should I sell the stocks now or I should keep it?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
I'm not basically, I can't predict what it is, but based on the companies, I would suggest like maybe this is a way, go based like whatever is needed and the remaining, as you said, pledge.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, if you are concerned that my stock is going to go up and you're concerned that I don't want to sell my stocks right now, we have a good solution. Maybe go with a hedge, like sell 50% of it, 50% of it, leverage it to get the asset line and then sell it slowly.
Just diversify slowly, right? Like
Diversify slowly, yes, yeah. Absolutely, right. So look, these are the things we can do. I'm going to keep it short. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. Nagaraj, if you have any questions for me, I'm here to help.
I think I have a lot of questions on this, right? Like,
okay.
See, one scenario, let's talk about the scenario cases right now. Okay, so somebody is like just have a 20% down and he has a 400K worth of stocks. So can you help them to reduce the points or rates?
So they want to put 20% down,
20%
right?
down.
And they have stocks.
Yeah, stocks. Let it be a 1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, just by moving their stock assets, they get a rate discount with us.
Okay, I think most of them might have a confusion. Stock asset means they're not selling.
They're not selling.
They're just moving to Wells Fargo brokerage account.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can move them in kind. You don't have to sell it.
Okay. Recently, one of my clients who has purchased a property, I think that's what they help, like basically they got a good rate right now. So if somebody is planning to buy a house and they want to reduce the rate, because a lot of times there's a confusion, how do I reduce the rate? There are ways. Working with me, right, I help them to write a pre-approval. I help them to write the pre-approval because I'm a licensed lender too. I help them to write a pre-approval based on their scores, like based on their credit score, what they tell me, and based on their income, and based on their RSUs and everything included, I help them to generate a pre-approval. So once the offer gets accepted, I tell them, these are the lenders who can help you out. Go work with them. Based on that, they can help you out. Yeah. But don't hide the credit scores when you're telling me, because credit scores are very important. Based on that, I'm writing a pre-approval.
Yeah, and Nagaraj, the best thing is that anybody who comes to us for a pre-approval, we don't do a hard credit check anymore. We only do a soft credit check, right? So it's a great thing. You get to know what your mortgage score is, plus there is no credit pull.
Okay. And one more scenario, right? Like let's assume like you went into bought a house, but next year you're getting a 200K or a 300K bonus, or we are getting, can we pay off and reduce my monthly payments, or like we need to do, we do the refinance?
Absolutely, you can reduce your monthly payments. So Wells Fargo has a program called Recast. It's free of charge. So essentially, let's say you take $1 million, $2 million loan, and you've sold a home later and reduced your mortgage, you can come to Wells Fargo and say, reduce my payment based upon the new loan amount and the leftover time period and my interest rate. And they'll do it free of charge for you.
It's free of charge?
Absolutely free of charge.
And what happens, like for example, I logged in for a 5.375, but the rates changes to maybe 0.5 more. Should I do a refinance again, paying the closing cost, or like ULD without paying for the closing cost? How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, I'll tell you something. There are options. So clients want a rate with no closing fees, refi with no closing fees. And that's what typically you should do, because in a downward trend, you're probably doing a couple of refis, 2 or 3 refis. So if you pay closing fees, you're not going to recover that money, right? So we can do a refinance with 0 closing fees. Another thing what we can do is, we can make sure that your amortization doesn't change. So look, banks front load the loans with interest. In 10 years, they collect 50% of the interest, right? So what we can do is that we can amortize your loan over 28 years, 27 years. So make sure that your interest clock doesn't start again. So we can do that for you also.
I think that's the confusion. A lot of people, they think the rates are less, just go for it. No. The one what you said, interest what you're paying and for overall, that needs to be also counted.
Absolutely. Lower payments doesn't mean lower cost of ownership. Not always. So I can help you with that. That's what I do for my clients. I explain to them that, hey, what is your total cost of ownership? And based on your goals, what we can do for you.
See, I have a very good lenders contact like CP, April. Based on each client scenarios, right? Some people might be just doing a 10%, 15%. Or maybe their DTI is like maybe 50%.
Yeah.
So April is the best case scenario.
Absolutely right.
But if you have a high, basically lot of stocks, CP is the best person to work for. Wells Fargo is the best person to work for.
Wells likes people with money. I'm just being honest with you, right? So.
But how to become rich?
Yeah, exactly. Now we can go up to high debt to income ratio.
You can go?
Yes, if you have 4 times the required amount of reserves. Just with 20% down, we can go to 48% debt to income ratio. 48%. Now, we don't have 10%, 15% small down payment programs like April does. I think she's the best person for it. But if you're buying a jumbo home purchase in the Bay Area, I'm your guy. You should talk to me. And I have a really good reputation. And Nagaraj, I worked with your clients before. They can vouch for me. I've got tremendous reviews online. I'm sorry I'm bragging about myself, but it's the truth. And let me know how I can help. Thank you.
Thank you, CP.
Thank you.